Walk it in, pancake, market green, dumpling.
On a Friday night,
34. Thank you.
it's hard to find an open seat at MacFam.
It's been awesome. We hit the ground running.
For husband and wife, Kenneth Wan and Doris Yoon, opening up their own spot off Broadway, a perfect fit.
I've been a restaurant kid my entire life, so food and beverages come second nature to me.
Then I ended up marrying my own chef, and now we have this restaurant together.
And then Noah, you have one more beef stir fry.
When it comes to the cooking, there's one ingredient they won't leave out.
We use it like we would use salt or soy sauce. We sprinkle a little bit to enhance like the meaty umami flavor of our dishes.
MSG, or monosodium glutamate.
People think like, oh, Chinese food is not good for you, gives me a headache, gives me like, palpitation, all of these issues, and it's due to MSG, and it's unhealthy, all of these things. But, that's just a myth.
You've probably heard the rumors about MSG, but is it actually bad for you?
That is a very complicated question. And so the bottom line is actually no.
Dr. Bonnie Jortberg with CU Anschutz says MSG is found both naturally and as an additive, and it's in a whole lot more than Chinese food.
Almost all of your beef, chicken, most of your shellfish, cheese, and even some vegetables, interestingly. MSG is naturally in those, or I should say glutamate, L-glutamate, which is the type that's amino acid. So yes, it is found naturally in many, many foods that people commonly consume every single day.
So how did MSG get such a bad name in the first place?
It's very interesting how MSG really got a bad name was in the early 1960s, and there was a physician who wrote an opinion piece in the Journal of the American Medical Association that he had a bad reaction to eating foods that had MSG in it. That's kind of how the whole thing came about.
Dr. Jortberg says that letter gave way to bad studies and junk science that have long since been debunked. Even the FDA recognizes MSG as safe.
It's not the demon that it was made out to be.
But just because science caught up doesn't mean society followed.
The saddest thing about it too is to this day, we'll still have customers come in. They'll walk up to our register, and the first question they'll ask is, "Do you guys use MSG in your food?" And they're hoping we're going to say no, because that's basically the deal breaker for them.
Ken and Doris know. That question goes a lot deeper.
I don't think they associate it with it being racist, but it is racist. It is racist because if you think about it, you walk in a Chinese restaurant and you ask if we use MSG, and we say yes, and you walk out. Why are you only targeting Chinese restaurants?
Most uneasy customers leave. Others try to take down restaurants like theirs for daring to use a dash of MSG in their cooking.
5 dumplings all day.
But Ken and Doris have made MSG a mainstay at MacFam.
For me, it's just, I'm just happy because I feel like MSG is such a great ingredient to use, imagine if you went to a restaurant and they couldn't use salt. You're probably not gonna enjoy your meal there, right?
They proudly proclaim its position in their recipes. Educate where they can.
Every chance that I get to highlight the ingredient, to spread the message and share the love for MSG, I do.
Both hoping to see the stale stigma surrounding MSG expire for good.
It'd be great if one day we can just normalize MSG and it just be on the same tier as salt, sugar, pepper, garlic powder, MSG. To me, that'll be the day. And I don't know if I'll live long enough to see that. Maybe our kid will, but that's all we can hope for. Just at least start the initiative.
Well, Dr. Jortberg says less than 1% of the population is sensitive to MSG. They might experience flushed skin, dizziness, shortness of breath, but she says the vast majority of people can consume MSG very safely, and they're likely already consuming a whole lot of it in their diet every day. And guys, I brought a lot of different foods that have MSG occurring naturally, like shellfish, beef, cheese, tomatoes, and MSG like you'd find in additive in Chinese food in the granule
The real
form.
thing.
Yeah, so you can consume this in a very regular amount, and it's absolutely fine for you.
Piece of cheese all the time. I'm good. Okay.
Probably too much.
Nothing wrong with cheese, I'll tell you that. Okay. All right. Thank you, Rachel.